Hello and welcome to our reflections this Monday on the 12th of October. The reading is from the Gospel of St. Matthew, chapter 22. Once more Jesus spoke to them in parables, saying, "The kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding banquet for his son. He sent his slaves to call those who had been invited to the wedding banquet, but they would not come. Again he sent other slaves, saying, 'Tell those who have been invited, look, I have prepared the dinner, and the oxen and the fat calves have been slaughtered, and everything is ready. Come to the wedding banquet.' But they made light of it and went away, one to his farm, another to his business, while the rest seized his slaves, maltreated them, and killed them. The king was enraged. He sent his troops and destroyed the murderers and burned their city. And then he said to the slaves, 'The wedding is ready, but those invited were not worthy. Go therefore into the main streets and invite everyone you find to the wedding banquet.' Those slaves went out to the streets and gathered all whom they found, both good and bad, so the wedding hall was filled with guests." This parable tells a strange story, doesn't it? All those who received the original invitation to the king's banquet not only refused to attend, but they treated the messengers very badly. In soccer terminology, it could be construed as giving God the red card or sending God off the field of play. Get out, not interested in your banquet now. In a more modern expression, it could even be likened to all those times we refuse to participate in the goodness of God as we experience in common worship. And you know what? This is sad, especially when we see that many of our senior members who are either ill, homebound, or some way physically unable to attend services, yet their main desire is to do so, while those who can are more intent on their own pleasures and excuses. Consider it. How would you feel if preparing a meal for some people and no one shows up? They give all kinds of excuses. You feel hurt, don't you? And you feel anger, don't you? Perhaps. Now consider the great feast of God that is prepared for all of us. How do you think God would feel when we didn't pitch up either in our churches, and we could, or participation with our modern internet means of communication? Think about that for a minute. And despite all this, Jesus continues the parable. He says, as the king was not to be stopped, he sent his servants to the crossroads, and they gathered all they could find, good and bad alike, without distinction, even to those who seemed unworthy. You see, it could be that this parable highlights the splendid generosity of the mercy of God to all of us, and God shows his ultimate love. I believe that during this time, this COVID period time of ours, in a way, I think it produced many and varied opportunities to participate in God's feast of the ministry of the word and sacrament. So, my friends, don your glad rags as you prepare to greet the King of Kings in whatever service you attend, whether it's worship, actual in your churches, or through the words you hear. They are all part of the celebration of the feast that Jesus invites us to attend, and no excuses. Simply as is said in the book of Philippians. Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. May you all be blessed during this time. So God bless. Keep well and stay safe. You're from Bromley.